I sold my electric vehicle last year, and not a single fill up at the gas station goes by that I'm not grateful to be done with my EV nightmare. Part of my post-EV recovery was making a YouTube video venting about my EV owner trauma, which still gets comments to this day both for and against EVs. But venting on YouTube isn't enough. To further my recovery, I had to go out and get a gas guzzler to cleanse my spirit of wasting countless hours charging in random parking lots. And that's just counting the times I actually found an available charging stall. Hey, EV drivers, have you ever seen another EV enter the same parking lot and both of you realize you're after the same charging stall? I'll never forget when I had to drive up to Brea for work and desperately needed to charge. I was at an intersection, turning left on a green arrow, and out of nowhere, a car tried to run me out of my lane and then sped in front of me. It totally shocked me. At first, I thought it was some reckless nut, but lo and behold, I see this person going to the same place I am, the charging station, and yep, the driver took the last charging stall while I had to queue up and wait. Also surprising, the driver was a cute old man. You'd never suspect him of being a complete psycho behind the wheel. But enough about inconvenience. That was the point of my last video. I purchased my Volkswagen ID4 for $46,449 before tax and title. Of course, I did get a $7,500 federal tax credit, which was nice, and that brought my cost down to around $40,000. So when I went to sell my EV around 20 months later, the most I could get for it was $30,000. This was also a time when used cars were appreciating due to pandemic shortages. And I had recently sold my Chevy Silverado that I had for 4 years for more than I paid for it. But with my EV, I took about a $10,000 loss, which would have been a $17,000 loss without the tax credit. But that's not the end of depreciation. I keep getting email updates of my car's latest value even though I already sold it, and my last valuation was at $19,000. And this doesn't even factor in the mileage the new owners already put on it. Think about this. A 3-year-old car with low mileage dropped $28,000 or 60% of its original value. Now, I've received several comments from Tesla owners talking smack about Volkswagen, which I think is unfair because it was actually a great car except for the fact that it was an EV. But I have nothing against Tesla. In fact, I even put a deposit for a Cybertruck back in November of 2019. And then when I finally got the chance to buy it this summer, almost 5 years later, I canceled. Why? Because charging an EV sucks. Also, Teslas depreciate too. Now, maybe not as fast as a VW, but EVs depreciate fast in general. But you know what doesn't depreciate quickly? A Toyota. So I've been on cloud 9 with my Toyota Sequoia. Believe it or not, it's a hybrid, even though it gets a paltry 15 miles per gallon. That said, the choice doesn't have to be so extreme. One doesn't need to either suffer charging with an EV or suffer high gas bills. For example, Toyota has a realistic approach by pushing hybrid efficiency. And as an early adopter of energy efficient vehicles, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get a 2025 Camry LE. Now, I use this vehicle for further distances, and I average over 50 miles per gallon. For high efficiency and low emissions, hybrid technology is the answer until EV charging is no longer impractical. And for all of you out there that have EVs and you charge at night and you commute 8 miles each way to your job and it works so perfectly for you, well, good for you, but that model is not scalable en masse. I spent nearly 2 years before my EV optimism was finally defeated by reality. Now, I'm in San Diego County, but I have regular business to do up in Orange County. I used to have to plan my trips around random charging stations that were out of the way and unreliable, and it was miserable. Until EV charging stations are both as plentiful and as fast as gas stations, don't even come at me. And finally, for all of you that took the plunge in 2024 and already bought an EV, make sure you do 2 things. Number 1, carry a Kindle in your car at all times. And number 2, collect the tax credit when you file your 2024 taxes. Thanks for watching.